Hello everyone, welcome to this session. I am your host Shyam and I'm also joined by Gaurav from Everyday Series. And in today's session, we are going to be spotlighting yet another use case of AI in EdTech. So in our last sessions, we covered the AI teaching assistant, which was the EduGrade for grading student assignments. In today's session, we are going to discuss yet another idea around EdTech, which is kind of revolutionary in terms of the fact that if you compare it with the way we have been brought up through the traditional education system and the way we've experienced the online education system. But now with AI, we are entering yet another age of learning where it is highly curated and highly customized, thanks to the AI based, thanks to the generative AI, right? So this is what we are going to experience today, right? So on one hand, you can say that you need teachers to grade your assignments with the help of AI, but then as an industry professional, if you want very specific knowledge on a very specific subject matter related to your work, then AI can, um, I would say, custom curate that learning path for you, and it becomes like a totally self-paced medium to learn, rather than you looking for a coach or some Udemy and you are searching through all these websites, right? So it's totally custom created and all the on the fly learning that you can do. So we call it the AI assisted self learning, right? So with the advent of AI, this shift has now happened because obviously the manual ways of creating courses cannot keep pace with the advancements in different subject matters or different areas. Whereas AI, thanks to its huge knowledge base, can curate that information and present it to you in a learning environment where you can learn through multiple modules and challenges and Q&As, right? So that's the whole idea about it. So Gaurav is again going to give you a demo on this. So we call this the DeepLearn application, right? So let's hear it from Gaurav, first of all, in terms of how does this work and how does AI make this kind of learning possible? Yeah, Gaurav.
Hi, Shan. Thanks for inviting. And yeah, exciting times. Like with this Chat GPT started a revolution, which is just it doesn't look like stopping anytime soon. And one of the big industry that's gonna affect most is learning, self learning, group learning, corporate learning, and all. So before I just delve into the product, we should I just wanted to pass this message across that for we all know, for the longest time, we assume that learning has to be delivered in a very particular way. It has to be pre-structured, it has to be standardized, it has to have like same pace, it has to have same depth for everyone, right? Like, be it taking a course on Coursera, or within your school or a university. But the truth is, knowledge doesn't behave that way anymore, right? Like, with this massive influx of information, um, knowledge is expanding constantly. And we all stand at different point in our journey at different time as well. um, Now, what generative AI allows us to do is just collapse the distance between where you are and where you want to be. So instead of waiting for someone to write a new course for you, updating a syllabus for you, or recording a fresh video, what we can do, and that's something I'm going to demonstrate, is we can dynamically shape the learning experience on demand. Now, for example, if I'm an industry professional today and I want to learn something specific, let's say AI agent in supply chain or an FMCG, and that's an example I'll show. I don't have to search through endless videos, papers, tutorials, or even just ask Chat GPT. The system can generate a guided learning path, which is personalized to my background. It's personalized to my pace. It's personalized to the outcome that I'm caring about. And then we are also, as we go further, I'll talk about the role of instructor, but it also helps me discover unknown unknowns. So it's not just known, the current learning system that is based on. It also helps me discover known unknown, but also unknown unknown. Now, that's the essence of the deep learning platform. It's not more content, but the right content at the right moment, aligned for your context.
You have got, in the traditional learning setup, you've got these teachers that we had in schools and colleges. And then in the online learning space, we had coaches and instructors who would be available either for live sessions, or you would be watching their recorded videos. But now with AI, we have a third kind of an instructor, which is like a which is like the AI coach or an AI facilitator, right? Who will gather all the information related to what you want and create a highly custom curated uh, course material for you, right? So that's what the crux of this whole application is, that you have to be very specific and very precise about your learning objectives, right? Because as we know, you have to provide enough context to AI, uh, enough contextual information about your learning outcome and your situation, so that it can create that exact learning path for you, right? So in fact, in this demo that Gaurav is going to show you in a little while, we are going to see a demo where, let's say, there's a manager who's working in the FMCG industry, and he wants to learn about AI agents, how to use AI agents so that he can think of implementing AI agents or agentic AI systems in his day-to-day workflows, right? So he has to describe his position in the organization, his seniority level, so that we know where he stands. Then his industry, which is FMCG, and then also what he wants to learn, and so that we can apply this concept, which is the AI agents, to the FMCG industry. Right? So you need to be very precise. You need to frame your learning requirements and outcomes in a precise way. And then this platform, which is the DeepLearn application that Gaurav is going to show you, will generate a learning path with the modules and the day-wise schedule with multiple modules. And it's not about just generating some random learning plan using AI. It also has a human element, which ensures that the learning plan is vetted by a instructor or an expert. So as we keep saying, human in the loop, right? So again, Gaurav will touch upon that uh, little later. But I think enough of talking. So let's head over to the demo. So Gaurav, over to you for the demo.
Yep. So let's go through the demonstration of DeepLearn. This is the AI learning platform. So where the first thing we do is we just type in our email address and we just log in. You can sign up. Once you log in, you can have a request, whatever request you want to have. So you can say, I want to learn about AI agents and its application in FMCG, as I am a manager in an FMCG group. I have 3 weeks to prepare for. I have 3 weeks to prepare for it, and I can spend 2 hours maximum in a day. I do not understand coding. So I have just defined my persona. I click start learning. And so before start learning, actually, I have to go into the settings. I have to add models. I have to refresh and add models. Once I've added the model and I press start learning, I get a goal. Now it says, excellent, this is a fantastic starting point. To tailor a truly effective learning plan for you, I need a bit more detail. So it's asking for, beyond the general concept, have you ever had a prior exposure of AI machine learning, perhaps through articles, presentations, or something that you have heard about? I can answer whatever way I feel like. Let me see how best I can answer. So let's say for first one, I say I have read just general articles, no detailed exposure on machine learning. For the second question, it says within FMCG, are there particular areas that you envision? So let's say I say I want it in customer service. The third one is, given your non-coding background, would you prefer learning approach that focus on conceptual understanding and strategic implementation? I am more interested in strategic implications rather than Um, Anything else? So number 4, would you be interested in incorporating any live instructor-led? I love to have an instructor-led sessions, and that's where the power of this particular platform comes out. Do you have a specific challenge or project within your FMCG? Not really. I can choose not to answer any either. While you don't code, are you comfortable with other technical tools or data analysis tool? Spreadsheets and dashboards are fine. Now, with this, I can ask it to either create a learning plan for me, or I could have even skipped any answers and could have just done to, just create a plan. So now that I've given it more broader answer, I can say, please create a learning plan for me. We'll wait for a few seconds. I'm not gonna speed this video up so that we know how long it actually takes. You can skip the section while it's creating the learning plan. So what happens next is, based your preference, it'll create a structured learning plan. It'll give you timelines, it'll give you topic, it'll also give you hands-on projects. It'll schedule an instructor meeting, a calendar that you can also connect with the AI agent. So here we go. So we have the learning plan is ready. So AI agent and FMCG, it's a 3-week strategic learning plan. It'll equip you with robust understanding of AI agent, their capabilities, and how that can be used. So broadly, we got a detailed learning plan. We'll talk about learning objective and outcomes. So what are going to be the goals? What are the expected outcomes? So you can see conceptual understanding by the end of this course. You can know about FMCG applications. You'll know about strategic evaluation. You'll also know about solution mapping, which is a slightly non-technical, because the person who's requesting it is non-technical. And then we'll also talk about strategic roadmap development. Now, structured curriculum with progressive topics, is something that we'll work on. So week 1 will be all about foundation of AI agents and introduction to FMCG content. It's going to be 10 hour. Day 1 or 2 we'll talk about understanding AI agent, the core concept. Day 3 to 4 we learn about AI and machine learning basics for AI agent. Then day 5 we talk about the FMCG landscape and AI agent opportunities. 2 hours, 4 hours. You can easily see, like we've taken into account how many hours you can actually spend, and basis that the entire content is being created. Day 6 to 7 agentic workspaces, 4 hours. Day 8 to 10 deep dive into FMCG use cases, and so on and so forth. Then we have week 3, where we just take a deep dive on strategy, implementation, and future trend. So you would have already noticed, when you said you're not talking about coding and all, we're only touching the low code, no code platform, so that you do not have to have a deep knowledge of coding and all aspects. And not only this, it also includes learning activity where you research on 2 3 no code platform. So imagine how would one automate the simple task in your department. So broadly, the whole idea here is, basis your query, we are generating an entire curriculum, taking into account all the constraints that you provide. And just remember, you have just provided a minimum possible constraints. There's not very fancy detailed constraints that have been provided. Now the time allocates 2 hours per day of the curriculum. Day 1 we'll talk about this, day 2 we'll talk about this. So we already have the rooster over here for entire 3 weeks, and remaining 6 hours have been spread across 3 weeks, which can be used for reviews, deeper dives, area of interest. Of course, you'll be having an instructor meeting. So all aspect of your requirement is broadly covered up over here. Now, what are the prerequisite and foundation knowledge required? Again, basis your thinking or knowledge that you already shared, the basis of your prompt. Well, we need a general business acumen, because that's where. And if you want to edit, you can always go back and say, no, I do not like this program, I may want to modify some of this aspect. Those features are also available to you. And then this is a very practical program, so it's not just theory that we're going to cover. We'll also talk about hands-on projects and practical applications. So you'll be defined and assigned certain tasks that you need to do, and then those tasks need to be completed, and also an expected output is there. So for example, for week 1 we expect you to do a task on FMCG challenges and agent solution mapping. So because your domain, and we're just mapping AI agent solution. And what we are expecting as an output is a 1-page executive summary outlining the problem. This is more around brainstorming, whether you can actually understand the concept of AI agent with FMCG or not really well or not. Then similarly, task 2 can be a brief presentation. Task 3 can be a 2 or 3 page document outlining. Now you can ask, who's going to review these content? Who is it going to be? An AI agent? Well, there is a possibility in other projects, where we can provide AI agents. But this product has been designed in a way that there can be real human you will engage with. These humans, basis, the way we set it up for you, can be the ones, who are expert in one or the other domain. um, and then comes, what are the milestones that we are looking for? How are we going to assess? So there'll be definitely, assessment that will be automatically created for you. And then, as I said, there'll be instructors where you're gonna have a touch point with the instructor. So you have a very organized, structured, midweek 1, midweek 2, midweek 3, midweek post learning, how you're gonna have a one-on-one instructor touch points. You'll just go through that. This is broad plan. This is just a plan that, the content will be created. The minute I press start learning, all these chapters will start getting created for you, and then they will be delivered on specified time or a specified date. You will also get the rooster and a calendar connect with your instructor. So let's see how that works. See, you get personalized content, you get timelines, and also content calendar generation. So let me click start learning. Now this is where it gets really interesting. It takes more time, and you can see how this, pans out. This part is where it takes, it can take half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hour, because what it's doing is going through your document, which we are not providing in this case, and also going through vast wide internet, where it's just fetching the relevant data and producing output to you. So if you see, it has already started writing, I think it's going to take 1 hour to do this. It's already writing first week concept content. It's, if you see over here, it's already started writing about it. It will be foundation model agent, defining intelligence in action. By the end of this week, you will be able to do this. You'll have key concepts ready. You can understand what an AI agent is. So all the content is getting prepared for you, which will be delivered on email. But before it is delivered, your instructor will have a chance to go through the entire content, and then once he approves, you'll start getting it. It won't be immediately delivered to you, but this just for demonstration, I'm showing what exactly is happening at the back, under the hood broadly. So we talk about, what artificial intelligence is, what deep learning is, what are the practical applications in customer support, autonomous vehicle, financial trading, healthcare. Broadly, to give you a very early introduction. That's what week 1 was, and then there's a hands-on exercise that is being provided to you. So and then an example, inspiration, and all. Broadly, you'll get all this content. It's still being generated, like for you for different weeks, and broad content will be delivered. See, week 2, it talks about FMCG context, identifying what are the opportunities and all. And this is where, challenges for FMCG, AI opportunities and use cases, and demand forecasting, and very much relevant, very much personalized, specifically to your prompts. And local knowledge bases have, your organization, if it is offering to others, they can use local knowledge bases to provide this particular information. And you see, like, the breadth and the depth, it's just, and just, when you're only saying, you can only spend 2 hours maximum, it'll give you all the theory, all the work offload to you. And once the content is completely created, you also get a chance, if you need more depth. So it's still writing the week 4 content. So if you need more depth, it can see, while we're talking, it's still writing. If you need more depth, you can add more additional learning material for specific topic, which you can further explore up over here, this one. Now, not only this, you also get a calendar where, there are touch points with your instructor. Of course, this is basis of his availability, but you can also furthermore, you can coordinate with your instructor off the hand, then DeepLearn. And just go back to the pricing. So broadly, this is how this entire tool is based. Right now, for a demonstration, we have used Gemini, but nothing stops us from using other modules, and we're more than happy to provide. If you have a commitment with Azure, if you have a commitment with OpenAI, we can help you provide these AI agentic learning platform to take it further. I hope that was helpful. Thank you. Seen in the demo, the system is powerful, but the clarity of intent is what unlocks that power. So when you provide the platform with your current role, your domain background, what you want to achieve, how much time can you commit, AI can calibrate the learning path precisely. And it's not just about overwhelming you, as you would have seen. It's about meeting you where you are and guiding you step by step. And the second piece is equally important here as well. So even the best models benefit from human insight, right? So after the AI structure the plan, an instructor reviews it, refines it, and is available when you get stuck, as we just showed you. Now, because learning is not about information, and something that I want you to take, learning is not about information. It's about the confidence and perspective. And that's where human mentor still plays a vital role. And that's where I tell people having ChatGPT doesn't only help. You also need a mentor. And Deep Learn platform has
Exactly.
been
Yeah.
made with that in mind. Over to you.
Yeah, great demo, Gaurav. So again, a couple of questions related to this. So one thing that immediately comes to the mind is, people are quite used to seeing these LMS, learning management systems, right? So how does this platform differ from a typical LMS?
That's one of the very common thing that I get asked whenever I showcase them something built on AI and related to learning. Oh, it's a new type of an LMS. Well, the simple way to think about it is more like LMS is like a library, right? While the platform that I just showed you is like a compass. So whereas LMS store
Yeah,
courses, it's static. It asks you to find your own way. You have to figure out what you want. Deep Learn creates a very personalized learning journey. It adapts. It learns about you as you learn through it. You can come back after 2 months, ask the same request because you have learned a little more. It will generate a different content for you because you're way ahead in your learning journey. It's the same machine, it's the same platform, but it's generating the content based on where you are in your learning journey. So you don't just browse through content, right? You receive the exact content that moves you forward in your journey to next. Module by module, day by day. It's a learning companion rather than a content, warehouse. It's not like hundreds of content. I can pick this one up, I can watch it, and I can read it. And um,
right.
and another, as I briefly mentioned earlier, learning, like, very famous quote is about known unknown and unknown unknowns. Very much applicable to learning, and I strongly believe known is where LMS or traditional learning systems come
Hmm.
up, and that's where the assessment come in, right? Like when you go and take an exam or a standardized test, the whole idea over there is to know. It's at the stage of known, but assessment is done to how better you know about what you know. Known
Yeah,
unknown is where Chat GPT and platform like that came in,
yeah,
where that I don't know this, please create a content. But with deep learn and the instructor angle comes in, where you don't even know that you don't know, and that's where the mentor comes in and tells you, hey, have you tried this one or not, right? So I think, as I said, module by module, day by day is the learning companion, which is out there for you. So that's how I see it to be different than LMS, don't you think?
yeah. Sure. I think the analogy that you gave about being a library versus a compass, that was actually great. I think that should clear the air in terms of how it is different from the LMS.
Yeah, I strongly feel.
Okay. So I guess just to this, based on this human in the loop aspect also. So what are the different ways in which you think a human or an instructor or mentor can interact with the system or the learner through this system?
Yeah, getting the instructor, as I said, about unknown as well, but broadly getting a human in the loop is intentional. A lot of people says when it comes to AI, oh, it'll just replace someone's job or it'll just replace the human. Well, we're not replacing expert-led learning. The whole idea of deep learn is to help you amplify the expert learning. You can also call it a personalized newsletter of a coach. Think of
Hmm.
AI as an engine that will just draft, refine, adapt the learning pathway instantly. But the human expert are the ones who will ensure that whatever content is created, it is relevant to the industry realities. There's an alignment with the current best practices, and then the support when there's any conceptual roadblock comes in. You have a one-on-one with the mentor or the instructor, and so deep learn is aimed to create a learning environment that is a both scalable and it's also
Yeah.
deeply personal. So whereas the AI will
Mm.
accelerate, the human will say, okay, don't move really fast, steadies it up. And
Right.
together they'll make the learning journey both efficient and more meaningful. Right? But why are we
Right.
learning? We should while learning we should not forget, why are we learning? Right.
Yeah.
So I think that's what
Exactly.
deep.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think this was very exciting because this is like a completely a new interface or a new way of interacting with your learning environment rather than just watching those boring videos, right? We have been doing it with it started with Coursera, Udacity, and then Udemy. Videos after videos we are just watching, and obviously we just end up binge watching. We don't really watch them. So this is a completely new interaction, or I would say new interface for learning. I would call it more like this is like the age of capsule learning, right? Which is it's like capsule, it's in small capsules, it's bite sized, it's on demand, it is based on the precision learning requirement of the learner. So this platform gives you actually that, and with the power of AI and with the support of mentors and experts, it can deliver those outcomes for industry professionals and practitioners, right?
Very
So
very spot on. Yeah. Very
yeah,
much like machine
right.
learning. I could have put it better way.
Great. So viewers, so if you're interested in trying this out, we'll put out a link to this tool. I guess you'll have to create your account and add your API keys to whichever LLM you're using. So I guess Gaurav, if you can just highlight which all AI integrations it is supporting for adding your APIs. I
As
guess
we,
you
as,
said
as
Gemini.
Yeah, as we demonstrated in the demo,
Hmm.
currently we're supporting Gemini, but
Yeah.
other LLMs are on the way.
Right. So viewers, as long as you have your own API keys for Gemini or OpenAI or whichever LLM you're using, you can just add it and then you can start using this tool. So we'll give you the link and you can try it out. And if you have any feedback, you can put your comments below. So I hope you like this demo. Thanks, Gaurav, for yet another interesting and very exciting demo with the AI. So every day when we look at new demos with AI, the possibilities just keep on expanding and expanding. So that's really, really interesting. So thank you for this wonderful demo. And viewers, thanks for watching. We will be back
Thanks,
yet
everyone.
again with another demo of the EdTech in the AI space. So until then, thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.